Welcome back, Goblin Chefs. It's APGAINS. Today I'm going to talk about what I believe to be one of, if not the best uses of your 15 minutes that you actually spend playing this game while we're waiting for real game modes. How I efficiently traverse through the daily objectives. First and foremost, I go into an arena battle and I immediately back out because I'm in the Death Shard, the Shard of Death, Shard 1, where there's an ungodly amount of money in this shard that is not coming from my wallet. Hence, it's kind of hard for me to climb. So I only get my 74 crystals a day, which is unfun, but just barely enough with dailies to keep me at a slight positive, if not neutral, as far as my crystal expenditure goes, because the next thing I do is immediately rip my 350 energy refreshes. This is all that I do as far as refreshes are concerned. I don't do any guild refreshes or any 100s of the energy. So I'm net neutral, essentially, as far as my energy expenditure is concerned. I don't really buy anything out of here unless I see Woo Bete, Bambalam, Woo Bete. I have spent some Dollaruskis here, so I do have materials that you do not have. My free-to-play account is right there with you guys. I ain't got shit. Nothing's happening. It's the same drag that a lot of you guys have been feeling, so don't worry too much about me being the, HOM-E aristocracy and being so much better than you and being all-powerful and omnipotent and millions of dollars of spend and stuff like that. Relative to quite literally everyone else in my shard, there has not been a lot, and I've kind of decided that after Elrond came out, I wasn't going to spend any more money. I didn't wail on Legolas or Gimli to 5 stars, and I don't really plan on spending any more money in this game potentially ever again. They could get me with some Nazgul, because I am a sucker for the Nazgul, so I'm going to leave the door open for Nazgul, but outside of that, I highly doubt that stuff like this is ever going to come out, unless this game suddenly massively explodes in popularity, and therefore it's just a net negative as far as my YouTube income is concerned. But just being totally honest with you guys, keeping it a buck, I'm not going to be spending any money unless I make a fuck ton of money streaming. So that's not going to happen, of course. As the next thing I do is I almost exclusively farm character shards, and yes, it's going to be different. Because I have higher gear characters, but I'm doing the exact same thing on my main account. It's just the gear levels are lower, so don't be like, holy shit, you're fucking spending money and you're preaching to me as a free-to-play. No, I do literally the exact same thing on my 2 free-to-play accounts, and I recommend people do the exact same thing. I identify the one character that I'm double farming. For my account, it's a Robo. For a lot of people, it's Lomian or something like that. When Arwen and Eladin come out, they will probably be those for most free-to-play people. I do 125 crystal refresh. I get X number of shards. I immediately go to my 3 or 4 other characters where I almost farm. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I farm almost no gear, and I do this on the free-to-play account. I get it. You got to be farming the crystals, but you get enough passive crystals, especially because there's nothing going on right now from the challenges and stuff like that, to where with my leftover energy, you end up with 150 to 200 leftover energy at the end of all of this. That kind of goes into crystal farming at the end of the day. But other than that, I'm not really doing too much on any of my accounts. So after I do my 2 characters, those might be 2 elves for you. For me, they're 2 Haradrim. I immediately go into hard 1 on light side, and I continue to endlessly pour resources every single day into my Eothane, because eventually they will be needed for something, and since there's nothing really to do right now, I'm front-loading an entire team farm, essentially. Eothane from hard 1, light side, hard 1, dark side, I get my Eowyn, and then my Eomer I am obviously just pounding resources into from supplies. So I've done my 2 Haradrim. For you, they're probably 2 elves. I've done my 2 Rohan. I don't foresee them being used for a Theoden event for the next 2 years, but honestly, there's nothing else to do, so who really cares? I'm doing it anyway. And then my 5th flex character. For you, this might be a Haradrim character, because it might be reversed, because I have the elves and now I'm farming the Haradrim. For you, it might be you're farming the, it's backwards for you. You might be farming 2 elves and farming 1 Haradrim. I'm farming 2 Haradrim, 1 elf. It is going in here. I get my Jack shards, and then I collect all of this nonsense. I think I still need to take my character up 1 gear, up 1 level, so let me actually demonstrate that real quick. And then I have like some random useful character that I don't plan on gearing or leveling anytime soon. I go 1 gear at a time, and I go 1 level at a time, so I don't waste too many resources. Eventually I'll use the fellowship because I'm sure they'll be useful for something. Today is not that day, so, you know, realistically, I'm not putting much, if any, effort into them. Gandalf will probably be pretty fucked up, but he'll have some sort of time gate to him, which is, you know, totally normal. And then, you know, it awaits to be seen if we get like a Boromir or something like that, to help, and maybe some sort of fellowship Frodo, I would imagine. And then with the remaining energy on my free-to-play accounts, I rip crystals. On this account, I have plenty of crystals, so I instead go in and I do 1 of the 3 big gear pieces for the elves, which are these tokens, and then the turquoise, which I've been just absolutely... This is not from spending money. This is just from my daily free-to-play energy farms. Same thing with the indigo. I pick 1 and I dump everything into it, and it's not been 15 minutes, but like, you know, let's say I took like a 5-minute break to watch a YouTube video or to do something. I come back, I do my second arena battle, and in exactly 15 minutes, I have finished my daily objectives, and I don't need to bitch and moan and complain on the internet about how awful this game is and how there's no content, because it's only taking up 15 minutes of my life. And when raids come, and when GAC and TW and TB come, in whatever versions they present themselves in this game, and there's actually fun stuff to do, I will have efficiently done my dailies long enough to where I am at a massive advantage. And many years down the line, when this is a hot button game and everyone's hopping in for the brand new game mode and it's so fun and it's so amazing, I will have been playing on multiple accounts for a long time and have all the stuff, and I will be successful and I will be happy. And all of the pain and suffering that everyone will either spend in money or will to live to grind up and get to the point where they can be as effective, I will not have to do, because I will have not complained on the internet, like I said, and also just spent quite literally probably 8 minutes of my life a day on this game and been in a really good spot. Had characters, prepped for legendary events. Will I get them all day one free to play? Obviously not, but I will at least progressively put myself in a better and better position to acquire those characters each and every day, to the point where I will obviously eventually have them and be glorious and be fantastic and love myself and give myself kisses and be heralded as an all-around great guy who is nevertheless still unloved by his parents. All right. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.